Hi guys, today's video is called Geek Avalanche. Now I live in Newcastle, which already had quite a good reputation for geeky culture. There are quite a few game studios based in the northeast, and we have two universities which have really good role-playing societies, and we also had really good geek shops. But there has been a massive increase in the amount of geek activity lately in the city centre, and this video is going to be talking about the things that I've encountered recently. Now to start off with, I'll describe the geek triangle which has formed in the city centre. Now all of our geeky shops are based in one street, which is called Granger Street, which is quite close to the central station, which is good for travelling geeks. Now on my Twitter I described the street as the geek triangle rather than the Bermuda Triangle, because we have Forbidden Planet in the top bit, which, if you don't know what Forbidden Planet is, basically that focuses on film, TV. You've got quite a few card games and RPGs. Certainly in our shop there is a massive shop in London which is fantastic, has quite a lot of Star Wars figures, which, as a devoted Star Wars fan, I really did spend a lot of time there when I went to London. And then further down the street you've got Traveller Man, which I go a lot to because it focuses more on RPGs, comics and board games, and I'll talk about the events that we go to there in a little bit. And then across the street from these two, sort of in the middle really, which makes the triangle, is Geek Retreat. Now Geek Retreat opened only a couple of months ago, but it's become really popular. Now in a way I'm sort of angry at Geek Retreat because they had one in Glasgow before they came down to here in Newcastle, but myself and Drew, who does the channel Drew and Aaron Plays, we were both discussing this, and we both had initial ideas of, if we had the money we would have done the cafe that they've got with geek things as well. So Geek Retreat getting there in front of us was slightly annoying, but it just means that we don't have to spend a lot of time doing it ourselves now. Now I said it was the geek triangle rather than the Bermuda Triangle because rather than disappearing into thin air and never being seen again, you're disappearing into a kind of sea of Magic the Gathering players. And anyone who knows me offline will probably know about my particular dislike of Magic the Gathering. So we've got the geek triangle, but we also had some really awesome events, one of which first of all was the developer quiz. Now I think this was the first year that Develop decided to do this quiz. This was the first one certainly in Newcastle that they've done, and it was sponsored by Ubisoft Reflections. So we had two teams from our gaming group, which included Drew and Erin, and Becca was there as well. We formed two teams. We were No More Mr. Dice Guys, and Drew's team was Meeples of the Galaxy. It was free to enter, and it was really good because we were going up against, I think it was another 14 teams. That was including Newcastle University, we had the Ubisoft teams. It was quite a good mix of gaming teams, and also not designers and developers, but also general geeks. Aside from the fact that it was free at me, we also had free food and drink. It's a really good idea to have a free bar with free beer and cider, which was really great of them. And the quiz itself was really good. I think there was a really good mix of questions in the rounds. We had general knowledge, we had a book one, which I really liked because I'm quite a booky person. I've got a literature degree, so that kind of makes sense. There's also a really good film one, which was you had to name the film based on the first line of the script. I think I got the Star Wars A New Hope one, which I was really happy about. Now we didn't win, but Meeples and No More Mr. Dice Guys, we actually came joint 8th, which we were happy because we didn't beat each other. But we also beat a couple of the Ubisoft teams, which was a bit of a ego booster. It was the first time I'd actually been in a geeky quiz like that, so I really do want to thank Develop for actually bringing it up to Newcastle, but also for letting me talk about it on the vlog. And speaking of quizzes, we've been to a couple of quizzes that have started in Geek Retreat as well. The first one, the team that we had, we came third out of, I think it was 9 or 10 teams, and the second one, which is like part 2, that was, well, we won that one, and they didn't really believe us because we got quite a lot of points, whereas a lot of people didn't. I've got to say though, with the quizzes in Geek Retreat, they were so much harder than the ones in the Develop quiz, which I didn't actually think was possible. However, I really hope that they do make this a regular thing in Geek Retreat, because it was really nice to see people there on a Sunday night after shops are closed, you know, being able to chill out at the end of the weekend, ready for the next week, and having quite a good laugh as well. Now, Geek Retreat have got quite a lot of events going on. There are quite a few Pokemon and Magic the Gathering tournaments, which I don't particularly like. And also in the Geek Triangle, Traveller Man, they have quite a few events going on regularly. We go to a Tuesday night board game night, which I kind of have a few slight issues with, mainly because of the Magic thing. I think the popularity of Magic the Gathering, because we share a night with them on a Tuesday. They get the bottom floor of the shop, whereas we get the top bit. More and more board gamers are coming to that event, which is making it a little bit harder for space, which I don't really blame the staff for this, the management at all. However, it might get to the point where Traveller Man may need to split the night off so that it's just board gamers for one of the evenings of the week, and then Magic for another one. Now, Magic the Gathering players do pay more in order to get to this event on a Tuesday. I think it's like £3.50 or £4.50, something like that. But some of that does go towards a prize on the night, whereas we pay £1 to do the board games or RPGs if there are any Dungeons & Dragons or adventures going on with that. Now, leaving aside that small criticism, you know, I've got quite a lot of praise for the event at Traveller Man, mainly because it was something that ultimately sparked off this channel, but has created so much enjoyment for me. I've made quite a lot of new friends through the board gaming group, and I've learned to play new board games that I wouldn't have thought that I would actually enjoy, like Ticket to Ride. Now, last but by no means least is the Pork and Swords event in Newcastle. Now, this is hosted by the Sausage Emporium in Newcastle, which is a really great restaurant, and it's quite a casual affair. It's a monthly event where you can bring your board games, card games, whatever you want to bring, and it's basically play the night away. It does actually get really busy, it does get quite loud, but it is kind of a different kind of style to the Traveller Man events that we go to. There's really good cider in bottles as well. The cider they've got is absolutely amazing, but they've also got really great food and other drinks there as well. The staff are amazing. They've got a wonderful little doggy that goes around as well, and it's just a really great place to hang out. Now, I've only been to 2 of them, but it's been going on for at least 4 months now, I think. I think the next one is at the end of the month, so if anyone who is based in the North East wants to go along to Pork and Swords, I will put a thing on my Facebook page, and you're welcome to give me a poke and I can give you all the details. They're always encouraging new players, so you're more than welcome to come along and see what it's like. I will guarantee you will find it interesting and enjoyable. So I've got a couple of questions for people this week, and they are there any particularly geeky things that you want to promote in your area? It can be in England or elsewhere in the world. What things would you like to see in your town? Are there any kind of geeky things that you're really missing out on that you think that your town or city should have? So that's it from me this week. Feel free to like, share and subscribe, and I'm always happy to take comments from you all. I'm going to put links to the Develop quiz as well as the Pork and Swords event on the Facebook page and on this channel page for you. Feel free to leave any links to events that happen in your area here as well if you want to promote them. And thanks for watching.